Welcome, folks. We're back.
Hi.
Yay. Good to have everyone with us. Whoever we have here, we got a number of people. Um,
Great.
so that's good. Robin on the left, Cindy on the right, me in the middle. No Jennifer tonight. Weather is messing with her head, so she can't participate. And well, Beth, Beth beat herself to death today. What in the last couple of days? What'd you say, Cindy? 50 jars of salsa.
50 jars of salsa and 11 jars of tomato soup.
Yeah,
Now, the salsa, I think she's been working on that for at least a week, but
yeah.
still.
So the soup was today, and she can't
Mm.
move. So it
She was
she's
talking
either
about whiskey.
yeah. It was either alcohol or drugs or I don't know what, but yeah. So
Yeah.
probably be in the audience, but no energy to sit up for an hour. And yeah, I can see her on the couch right now with the glass of wine and
Hmm.
yeah.
Hmm.
So the three of
Yeah.
us. So we've got a good number of well, we got all the entries from Robin and Cindy for the Iowa State Fair, so we'll go through those. Just some beautiful work and lots of ribbons in those too. Boy, you guys had a successful year. It was great. So
It was not only successful for us, but other members of our chapter. And I'm going to see if I can get a couple of them to do live shows with us.
oh good. Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, so I know there's at least two that did really well that might do it. So I'll keep you posted.
Great. Oh, that'd be fantastic. Yeah, it's always great to see that stuff. Yeah. So great. So we'll look for that. So anyway, so tonight we're going to go through all those pieces and talk about them and learn about them, and that'll be a lot of fun. Sunday's guest is Elizabeth Ashdown, and we talk about her new book,
Oh, oh, you have
Passamantry.
it.
This book, this book. Now people are going to say, "Well, I don't do that." Well, you cording and tassels. This book is beautifully put together, but she shows you in detail how to do cording, how to make tassels, the whole shooting match is and in addition to this kind of stuff. And
Oh, neat.
this is a really really good book.
Neat.
The price on the back's $40. You can get it from our usual outlets. But so we talk about that, and we didn't just talk about the book. We also got into the whole passamentry discussion again. This is the second show we did. A year ago, we did a show with her
Mhm.
and learned about her. Um, it's interesting. This whole thing and that list they keep in Britain of the crafts that are endangered.
Mhm.
The art crafts that are endangered.
Hmm.
Uh, this passamentry was endangered. Now it is critically endangered, or soon will be. There are only
Oh,
four people in the UK that are doing this on a professional level. Only four left because one guy just retired. The guy who was doing all the work for the royal family, the royal trust, and
oh,
all that, he just retired.
Okay.
So now they're down to four people, and of course there are other people in the world, but it's the art form is slowly dying, which is one of the reasons she did the book um, to try and keep the techniques alive.
well, and
So
I suppose that nobody is interested in learning it either,
no, no,
because you would think that, he would have had an apprentice or somebody that he was training.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, she said to be able to do it at the level that they do it takes hundreds of hours of.
Mm.
You can't really do it in a class. You got
Of
to
course.
spend time with someone who knows what they're doing, weaving and all those things. And she said it just takes a lot of time, and there just is not the commitment. People don't want to make that
Mhm.
commitment for such an obscure art form. So she's trying to keep it alive. They all are. They're all trying to keep the
Mhm.
techniques alive. And the book is one of them. And sounded like she's got another book in her head. So I don't know. We'll see how that goes.
Ooh.
But this book is terrific. It's really well done. It's a how-to book. I mean, there's a lot of photography in here to show you how to weave and do cords and everything. And this loom, what is it? A heddle? Oh, I forget the name. Anyway, this loom, you can buy these things and do all of this, just about all of this work, and it's just a tabletop thing, because we think of looms where you got to have a room and a big space and
Yeah.
yeah. But for a couple $100, you can buy one of these and do just about everything. So
Does she talk about where to get the materials?
that I can't answer because I don't know. But she
Okay.
said that
I,
there are several ways to get it in the States. She says we're actually in better position than they are in the UK, which is where she's at, to get this. She said just about any good yarn store uh, can put their hands on looms and
oh, okay.
get them for you. And I did a little research to see how much one of these is, and for a couple hundred, 200, $250, you can get a really nice one. And she said you can do an awful lot with these, like everything. So
Yeah.
um,
Marcy and Martha said it's a rigid heddle.
there, thank you, rigid heddle. Yes, that's
Yeah.
what that is. Yeah, yeah. Um, thank
And
you.
of course, we know what that means.
Right. Yeah, of course we do. But she's got projects in here, simple projects you can do, and it's just a terrific book. Um, and then she shows you how to make cords, how to spin, twist cords, which there's several things that teach you how to do that. But she does them
Mhm.
at a whole nother level, and
Mhm.
so that's Sunday. That's our guest
Okay,
Sunday, Elizabeth
great.
Ashdown. But it's one of those books where you think, oh, I don't need this book. I don't do this kind of stuff. But how many people want to trim finished pieces or learn how to, or just want cord to go around something, and here's a book that'll help you do that. So, um, Kelly, I was supposed to get my eyes examined on Friday. The doctor was out of town, postponed for a month, was set up. Then I had to cancel, and then it was going to be Friday, and now he's out of town till October. So um, I have to say that the next step I'm thinking about is I think I need a different doctor if he's
Oh,
not going to be around. So um, that is, yeah, Kelly, that's very much on my mind because I was all fired up to do. Well, I wasn't fired up, but ready to do it on Friday, and um, he canceled. So yeah,
bummer.
what are you gonna do? American medical system. Yeah. So there we have it. Um, we're working on the event for March, and Marg and I actually went the other day and met with the people at the place that we think we're going to do it at. It's the same place where the Galleria is held, the Embassy Suites. And we met with them and got a tour and got a bunch of questions answered. So more details coming on that real soon. Yeah, Kelly, exactly. Yeah, I was actually had bagged up my stuff to take to show them how far away I had to be from my stitching. I was ready to go, and then the doctor won't be in till October. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. So I think I may have to just find somebody else. I've only been to him a couple times since we moved here, so it's not like we have a lifelong relationship or anything. So,
Hmm.
yep. If you were close by, Kelly, I'd just call you and come and we just do it there, but and be done with it. So, yeah, I'm working on it. All right. Before we run out of time, let's go.
Yeah.
Okay. So we what you're gonna say something, Robin? Oh,
I cannot see the comments, so if anyone has questions for me, you'll have to let me know.
okay.
Yeah, we
Yep.
will.
We'll fire them to you.
Thank you.
No problem. Okay, we're gonna start with Cindy's. So, Tell us about it, Cindy.
Okay, this is a scissor case that I made. It was one of the Cyber Pointers projects from last year. It's called Stitch Your Own Scissor Case. And so I just went through my stash of threads and pulled out a bunch of stuff. And so this is the outside of the scissor case. And the next picture is the inside of the scissor case. And so let me just tell you how the judging goes. There are 3 categories: appearance, workmanship, and finishing. Each one of them is numbered from 1 to 5, with 1 being the worst and 5 being the best. I got all 5s. So appearance, that includes cleanliness, design, use of color. Workmanship is appropriate use of base material, choice of fibers, even tension, proper starts and finishes, no knots or loose ends, no stamping shows, all cross stitches go the same way. And the last one is finishing, appropriateness of finishing and so on. So the comments I got were great frame. No, that's not the part of the comments. Nice little needle case, lots of little stitches. So this is on 18 count canvas. I don't really think that's little, but okay. So the scissors go in, so that's a little pocket there where you have your, where you have it now, where the little kind of rosette thing is. And the scissors go in there, and then it closes. And I put a little magnet in behind the scissors so the scissors don't fall out, because that was what some of the people were saying, was that they were having trouble with their scissors falling out. And it also keeps it closed.
Yeah. Now, did you have to? So you had to stitch 4 panels for this thing.
Well, really 5, because the scissor pocket was a separate little panel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then, so those are the front and back, the inside and the outside are joined together. That's the hinge, kind of right there in the middle.
Yeah.
And so, yes, each of those rectangles, I stitched 4 of those, although there's not that much stitching where the pins are, where the felt is for the pins or needles.
Right.
There's just a little bit at the top.
Now, how does the hinge? Is the hinge separate, or is that just one continuous canvas there? And
So the outside is one continuous canvas.
okay, this is
Yes, that is. The inside pieces were stitched on to the outside.
okay. Oh, I see. So this panel and this panel are attached to the one that is the full length, then. Okay.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Beads and everything.
And
This
there's
is
some
cool.
beads on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a fun project, actually. And I'm happy with the way it turned out.
Yeah.
And second place.
So okay, so when they say fabric and threads, that seems like such a such a broad category. Is there some definition to that?
The fabric and threads department is needlework, quilting, clothing, crochet, tatting, knitting, weaving. Am I forgetting anything, Robin?
Well, and they have junior divisions and senior divisions, but that's the bulk of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're competing against a broad range of textile art people then in this.
No, because there's different divisions and classes.
Oh,
So
I see.
all of my things are entered in the needlepoint division. And Robin can tell you what she entered 2 divisions.
Okay.
Yep.
So
Okay, so the fabric and threads is the umbrella class then.
right, for the whole department.
Oh, okay. I was reading
And
too much
then
into it.
yes. So then there's the embroidery, I guess you might call it. Oh, surface embroidery. Well, surface embroidery is
Yeah.
under the needlework. There's surface embroidery, counted cross stitch, needlepoint, um, counted thread work. Is that it, Robin?
For
For
the needle
embroidery?
type, yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
we don't consider machine embroidery to be part of that, but there is a division for machine embroidery.
Oh,
Right. So this is with a needle and thread in hand. Those
okay.
are the
Yeah.
categories.
Okay. So
Okay.
second place for that one. All right.
Yep. Okay. These are ornaments that was a project that we did for our chapter. I don't know how long ago, several years ago. And I did 3 instead of just 1 in different colors so I could turn them into ornaments. This design is called Jazz Squares. It's by Susan Jones of Fingerstep Designs, and she actually has a pattern called Jazz Squares that's larger. This is one little section out of that larger pattern. And this was in, I don't remember if it was in, I think it was in Needlepoint Now a few years ago, and we
Yes.
wrote now, got permission to use it as a meeting project.
Okay. Whoops.
And so the comments on this one were nice job on stitching, would look nice hanging anywhere. Again, I got all 5s.
So okay. So when you get all 5, so then it comes down to the placing comes down to judge's subjective. Uh, this one's
Yeah, so
yeah.
I'll tell you, this is in the ornament category,
Mm-hmm.
and first place was taken by one of our members. Robin took second, I took third.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I didn't
The
I
first,
didn't see what Connie did, so I don't know what her ornaments look like, but
they weren't ornaments. It was actually a frame piece because the class name is Holiday Decoration / Ornaments.
slash
So she had a
stocking.
frame piece that was um, um, Halloween motifs. And I
Oh,
want
Oh,
to
okay.
say it
I
was,
do remember that.
yeah, Needle Necessities are one of those that she likes to
Yeah,
stitch.
right.
mm-hmm.
Okay,
It was a
gotcha.
fun piece.
Yeah. And Cindy, do I recall that you said to me at one point that you have to do 3 ornaments,
Yes, you have to do 3 ornaments.
at least 3?
They
Only
don't want,
3 is what
yeah,
they
they
let
don't
you
want more
enter.
than 3.
Oh, okay, 3.
Three,
So
three
Yeah.
is enough. Yeah.
yeah. Okay. I like them. They're cool. So, is it the canvas piece, and then you just glued on the felt on the back, or
Yeah, pretty much. I used the same technique that I think I talked about ink circles when I was doing that's how I finished the pumpkin ornaments that I showed a few weeks ago.
oh yes,
Only I didn't put beads on these because
yeah,
I couldn't find a bead that I liked.
yeah.
So these are the canvas is, and I think these were these on Congress cloth or is it on canvas? I can't remember.
Well, you might
Oh,
have done
they
them
are.
on Congress cloth, but the class was 18 count canvas.
Yeah, these are on 18 count canvas. I started another set on Congress cloth when I
Yeah.
finished those. So the canvas is wrapped around a piece of mat board,
Okay.
and then it's just glued to the felt.
Yeah. They're nice. Yay. Yeah. It's simple. I mean, that's not a complicated thing to do there.
No,
All right.
okay. This one is Summer Fireworks, and it is a beautiful stitches pattern. It's a free pattern. And this is a project that we did as a program for our local chapter also, ANG chapter. And this is done on Congress cloth. It's about, I don't think it's 2 inches wide and about, I don't know, 6 inches long. It's pretty small. And
And your
here,
colors, right?
Yeah, my colors, because I started with a over dyed that had it's you can see it in the border. Got burgundy and gold and green, and then it's in some of the blocks also, but you can see it more clearly in the border.
Yeah.
Stranded silk, everything is stranded silk. And then I just pulled the colors for the blocks out of those border colors.
Yeah.
On this
Sure.
one, all fives again. And here she circled great frame, nice matting, and then said, very impressive, love colors, variegated threads, good variety of stitches, amazing. We found out Sunday when we were talking to the superintendent that they have a new judge. The previous judge that they have had for I don't know how long didn't ever write much of anything.
Oh,
So this judge is writing quite a bit more
Yes.
in her comments.
so nice. Even if they're just little short things, nice to get at least some insight into
Yeah,
the thoughts. Yeah.
right.
Yeah. This is cool, and this is free, folks. You know,
Yes.
can I try counting canvas work? Yes. Do I have to buy a
Mm-hmm.
chart? No.
No,
Uh,
And
all
there's a companion piece that goes with it.
there you go.
called
So
Autumn Fireworks,
okay.
Yep.
and that's also free. So her website is beautifulstitches.com.au.
Yeah, she's in
Yes,
Australia.
it's
Yeah.
Australia.
Yes.
Yeah.
What's her name? Maze something.
It's Anne Marie Anderson Mays.
Yes.
Thanks, Sandy.
Yeah. Yeah, and set aside a half hour when you go to her site because you'll get sucked in.
Oh
She
yeah,
really, yeah,
she does some incredible stuff.
yeah.
Very, very inventive, and she dyes her own threads as well.
Bright colors. I really like her stuff. Yeah, we did a show
Hmm.
with her. I don't know, 3 4 years ago. I don't know. Probably should do
Yeah.
another one. Yeah, she's really good. Yep.
Hmm.
This worked out well. So you gonna do the
It,
companion piece, or are you just enough?
oh, I did that last year.
Oh. Okay.
That was in last year's fair.
Okay. Now you have the pair. Okay.
Now I have the pair. But the one that I did last year was called Autumn Fireworks, and I used a rainbow thread. So it had pink and blue and
Mm.
yellow and orange. And it didn't look, and this one doesn't look like summer to me.
No.
I should flip the names.
Yeah. Yeah. This
But
is almost more fall to me than it is.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, maybe late summer.
Yeah. Really nice though. Yep.
Thank you.
All right. And this one, I was wondering how this one did. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I was wondering too. So all fives again, and she circled great frame, nice matting, and she wrote gorgeous next to the matting.
There you go.
So
Yes.
yes, and so based on that, I would have known just at that we had a different judge.
Yeah. Yeah.
She says
True.
like black background, stitching is nice, metallic threads are wow, lovely job, thread dimension is amazing.
There we go. Boy, she's really given some nice thought. That's good.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
really is.
Yep. And this is Debbie Rowley's
Fantasia.
Fantasia. Yes.
Now, I did look at her website today, and she is only teaching this in person, and I don't think there's anything scheduled for it. I took this through last A&G since the pandemic has been offering a cyber workshop along with their when they do the national seminar.
Uh huh.
I don't know if they're doing it again this year, but this was what they did last year. So it's fun
It's a
colors.
stunner.
Yeah, I'm really happy with it.
So the bold matting paid off then. Okay.
Yes, it did.
Yep.
She liked it.
Yeah. Well, it looks terrific. I think. Yep. Good
Thank you.
one. Wow. Very cool. All right. Okay, that was the end of yours, right? Yep.
Right.
Okay,
Over to
Robin.
Robin.
All right. This was a very pleasant surprise. It is a Periwinkle Promises piece, which is Barbara Rakosnik. It's called Fruit of Her Hands. It's from 1999, so I've had it a while. And about a year ago, I decided it was time to stitch it. I changed the colors a little bit. She had pinks and blues and greens, but they were mauve, gray, blue, and a very different green that I wasn't crazy about. So what I did is I just deepened the colors and went with a true pink, a true blue, and into the greens. There's a ton of different things on here. Drawn thread work, which is the hem stitching. There's a big section of filet lace in the middle. There's a lot of, besides some cross stitch, the hearts are in rhodes. There's a little bit of black work. There was a fair amount of just laying threads because she did a fair number of straight stitches in some of the bands, which is not something you do a lot on linen.
And this was in the counted thread.
This is in counted
category.
thread division.
Yeah.
And this is mixed techniques picture, because they have another class called mixed techniques item other than picture.
Okay. For lack of a better
And on
name.
that one, let's see. Let me see. Dark pinkish towel. Everything was a 5. She circled the frame and the matting as liking it. Beautiful, love it all. Beautiful job, love it all.
Yeah. Okay, tell me about these hearts. How are those stitched? That's a different.
They're rhodes. They're little rhodes hearts.
Oh, that is a road stitch. I'll be darned.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Which is one of the fun ways to make a heart, to be very honest. Then the blueberries are a padded. Are they a padded satin? Hang on. I still have that pattern. So I can look at the pattern.
And there's some beads on there, it looks like.
Yeah.
There's beadwork on there.
I love this band right here.
Mm-hmm. Looks kind of Art Deco, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
So, do you know what filet lace is?
I know what it is. I've never done it.
Okay. You might explain it,
That's
though,
a big
Robin,
section of it.
you might explain how that's done for the audience members.
Okay. You start with, it's one of the things that everyone says, please based, so that you get your counts right. So you start with that, and then you do, you go in and you cut. And in this case, it was every set of 2 threads got cut and removed, horizontally and vertically. And you leave your tails, because what you do is that border around the outside, when you stitch that, you secure all those tails.
Oh.
Of everything that you cut. Yes. It looks absolutely horrendous while you're doing it, trust me. Yeah.
Wow.
So that border that's the tone on tone, that's where all of those threads that I cut and moved back to either the left and right side or the top and the bottom, depending on, if they were horizontal or vertical threads.
Holy smokes.
That's where those all got secured.
So nothing actually gets removed nothing actually gets removed then?
No.
In a sense, no. They all get secured,
Right.
worked back and secured. Yeah.
Wow.
And trim. You trim off the excess, right?
Right. But so you create this grid. Well, just like heart hanger, now you've got to do something on it.
Yeah.
And that's where you start wrapping the bars and doing the filet lace version of a dove's eye is what this is.
Yeah. Wow.
And on this one, I knew it was important to put a dark color behind it so you could see it.
Yeah. That's very cool.
Judy says that's
I,
exquisite.
it's a technique I do on and off. It had been a while since I did this, so I went and reread a couple other teachers' instructions on it to get my head back around it.
Yeah.
But at one time I did a fair amount of this just to get comfortable with it. And the neat thing on this, if you've got filet crochet patterns, they work for this technique.
Well, it's so fun
You
because
can use them.
my first question was going to be, how did you use some form of a cluster block around the edges to anchor all that, and then you never actually removed them? So,
Well, and her anchoring stitch is, hang on. No, that's the long arm cross. Where is it? Smyrna's.
oh, okay,
Oh, Smyrna's
Smyrna's and
anyway.
four-sided.
yeah,
Smyrna's and four-sided stitches.
yeah,
Yeah.
So two threads in from the actual grid. There's a row of Smyrna's all the way around. Then there's 2 rows of four-sided stitch, which are done 2 over 2. And then there's another row of Smyrna's out past that.
okay. Well, it sure is an impressive piece. Wow. And best of show, so obviously, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Very nice. That must have felt
Thank
good.
you. That was a pleasant surprise.
Yeah. Wow. I love these.
So last year, if you watched, you saw one of my cones. This is the second one. I've got 2 more sitting upstairs. This is the one that I actually thought was better than the one that took the blue ribbon last year. So this also took a blue ribbon. It is in the class called 3-dimensional.
So we got ribbon work
And-
some heart hanger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other picture, which I know you've got, shows the front better. I did that one so you could see the side and the back.
Okay.
There you go. Yeah. And her, there again, all 5s. Her comments were ribbon embroidery and cut work lovely. Very nice beading, because there is beading in the flowers.
Oh, yeah, I see that.
Cut work finishing off top is lovely, and she liked the way it was finished. Well, that was the pattern, and it was based on the Victorian cones that they used to put on their Christmas trees.
Oh, sure.
And then they would fill them with candy, usually. So,
Ribbon work. I really like the ribbon work.
thank you. It's fun. I don't do a lot of it, but on something like this, it filled the space so well. And I had the silk ribbon in the colors that worked well with what I was using for the heart hanger.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice.
Sandy
How
wants
tall-
to, Sandy P. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
How tall?
Nope, go.
Sandy P. wants to know how tall is the cone.
It's probably about 6 inches at most.
Mm-hmm.
I pretty much worked these and the other 2 that I did after I took this one apart so I could get the count right. Because it just laces up the back like you would lace a corset with
Oh,
ribbon.
Yeah, Sue, we get a whopping $7 for a blue ribbon. It's six
Five
for a
for
second
second.
place. Yeah, 5 for second, and
It's
4 for third.
5 for second and 3 for third, I think.
4.
And if you're
it's
if it's okay, and if you're below that, you don't get anything. You'll get a ribbon, but you don't get any money.
oh, you made a
My
killing.
sweepstakes prize, my best of show prize that was hanging next to that sampler was an extra $15. And in counted thread, I also won sweepstakes, which is overall excellence in a division,
Oh, okay.
because I had multiple entries and they did well. That was another 15.
Wow. You bought
Then,
dinner that night.
Well, then a shout out to the Cedar Valley EGA chapter in Cedar Rapids. They sponsor the best of show in counted thread, and that came with $50 extra.
Oh, Wow.
So that will get a very nice thank you card from me sent to them.
Yeah. Yeah. And yes, Beth, I agree. I am now intrigued by the fillet work. Yes. Mm-hmm. Agreed. Yep. Beautiful.
Well, Beth, since you do reticella, you can do fillet, believe me.
Yeah. No, I can see how it goes together. It looks yeah, I mean I gotta see. I can't believe you. Yeah, all right. Yeah, now see, this is the trouble with these things. This is what happens.
That's just basic heart hanger filling. Those are dove's eyes and picos in there.
Yeah. Do you have some ribbon in there? Is there some ribbon in there?
Well, there's ribbon to lace it up and to make the handle so it could hang in the back. And then the flowers are silk ribbon.
Yeah, but that looks like ribbon to me in there.
No, well, it could be the handles from the top that was showing through. Because I wasn't getting a good picture, so I took what I was using to give it shape out of it and let it lay on itself. So that's probably just the
Okay.
the tail of the ribbons that I used. Yeah, see the green? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what
okay.
it is.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I got to try the ribbon stuff. I just got to try that someday. These little things, I just love these.
I can't tell you how many variations on this I've done. I was lucky enough to find and buy some satin ornaments that are shaped like drums. So they're covered, and then that banding, which I've had for forever and is somewhat available, with the eyelets in it, it was the perfect size. It is the exact height as those drums.
Mm-hmm.
So I just went and found some drawn thread stitching that I liked and kept stitching until I knew I was long enough, had done enough to cover and do a simple turned hem.
Uh-huh.
They are put on by just whip stitching the two ends together and then running, in this case, some gold ribbon through the eyelets and tying them in a little bow in the back. So there's coral knots. There's a flip in there. And the other one is a gathered based on a herringbone, I think. So the one on the top, you can see is the gather. There's, the flips. I did flips. Okay. Yeah, I did a double set of flips. Then the bottom one has a herringbone type.
Okay.
Because you can see in the middle. So you do the hem stitch all the way around to make your bundles, groups of two. And then you go back and you figure out, okay, what do I want to do with them? And these three filling stitches are what I call foundation stitches. A flip is very common in hem stitching. So is using the coral knot to gather. And then the other one on the bottom, again, using the herringbone. Mm-hmm. leaving some of your band intact in the middle and then just doing a herringbone to gather your groups.
Mm-hmm.
Little math involved because you're going to make sure your numbers end up even or you remember how to compensate on the ends.
So Robin, this is linen banding with eyelets in it, is that right? So Beth said we need to contact Kim for banding. But I don't remember seeing anything there that had eyelets.
No,
but that's not a deal breaker. Yeah.
It will work without the eyelets. In fact, I've done a bunch of these on the 2.5 rounds, your standard size round ornament. Okay? It can be glass. This will work. Because there all you do is a running stitch to gather it so it fits nicely around the ball.
Mm-hmm. So you probably want something that doesn't have a heavy ornamented edge, just a simple edge, so that it'll gather up nicely.
Yep. That beautiful lavender banding that she had, the narrow one, would look great on cream colored glass.
Sandy P, it's banding. What, 2.5
Yeah.
inches you said, Robin?
Or two. This one might just be two. They're
Two.
not real
About
big.
2 inches
Yeah.
wide, and then it has eyelets on along the sides. But the center part, it's just linen, probably 28
Yep.
count ish.
Yep. It is 28 count.
Yeah. Those are just
And
the
that's
coolest
just
things.
size,
Yep.
that's just size 12 pearl cotton,
Yep.
ecru pearl cotton. That's probably, well, of course, because the drums were bright purple, so I didn't I didn't need color in the embroidery.
Yep. Those are really great. Cindy, keep an eye on Beth's typing. If it gets really sloppy, then we know it was either alcohol or drugs or both that has taken, just keep an eye on that. So far, she's looking
I'll
pretty
vote for
good, but
alcohol.
just
Yeah,
as a.
Or if she makes a list of that's too long to spend money on.
Yeah. Then we know she's really out of control. Yeah.
Yeah.
the judges
Okay.
I,
the
I think
judges'
she's already
comments
making a
on that
list.
one were
Yep.
very nice, each with a different pattern. Very fascinating work.
Oh, okay. Well, it
And
is.
I think I was the only entry in that class. Now, that being said, that does not guarantee you a blue ribbon, a first place. That is always at the judge's discretion.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Those are just awful neat. Really cool. Yep. This one, all right. This one, yeah.
There
This
you
one
go.
and the next one, I think we gotta. Yeah, I gotta know.
Okay. This is my design.
Okay.
And it started because I had, I don't know if it was Valdani or Wonderfill. But you'll notice that there's an overdyed thread all the way around, making the blocks and the inner borders on the
Right.
squares
Yeah.
in blues and greens. Yeah, and teal. And I had a piece of platinum linen, that's 32 count platinum linen, if I remember correctly, which would be Belfast. And I knew I had a teal pearl cotton in a 12 that would work well with the other colors in the overdyed.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had to do a little math and a little figuring. And then it's 4 different blocks repeated. So
Yeah, I'm just starting to take that
there's
in
4.
now to see the different how you. Yeah. Okay.
So I've got eyelets, I've got cobbler filling, I've got 4-sided stitch in there. I'm trying to think. There's another one in there. I can't remember what it is. Ringed back. That was the other one. So that's eyelets and 4-sided stitch in there.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other one on either side, that's the cobbler filling or 3-sided filling, whatever you want to call it, with 4-sided stitch out around it.
Okay.
So these are pulled thread. On these, there isn't any
Yep.
thread that's cut.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then the cross on that one is a ringed back, and you can see the ringed back again out around the outside.
Yep.
On the other one.
Yep.
More of a window pane, I want to say. And then in the middle on that is just pulled satin stitch, but worked stepwise.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Yeah. And again, in pulled work, these are foundation stitches. These stitches get used over and over again in a variety of combinations.
Mm-hmm. It's just awful effective. It's really good.
So what did the
Thank
judge
you.
say about this one, Robin? Do you have it handy?
Yep. Neat job. Love all the stitches. Sampler blocks are darling.
Oh.
Well, it is. The cool thing is I mean, as base level, it's a sampler, but visually, it's just a real nice piece. Your eye just keeps exploring, and it really works.
Yeah.
Very nice. And that platinum, if you're going to buy just a yard of linen to have around, platinum is not a bad choice.
I've done so many things on that. In fact, I'm working, well, the sampler I'm working on now is on platinum.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good one to have sitting around.
Yeah.
I did download these all beforehand, but you know how software is. Okay, this one. All right, so we got this, and then we've got a close up.
And
So
I
we'll
sent
get,
you showing the corner. Yeah, so you could see the corner better
right,
and see the work better.
right. So this
Because
this
my
is
camera doesn't like to shoot linen.
yeah. Okay.
So that is on desert khaki linen, 28 count linen. It's one of my favorite colors to work on because you can put so many different things on it.
Mm-hmm.
The overdyed is a Valdani. I don't remember exactly which one, but I've had it for a long time. And then I had pearl cotton that matched the linen fairly well to do all the filling.
So cool.
Now this took 4th place, and there were other pieces. The other pieces were very traditional. In fact, the piece that took 1st place was stitched by a man, and it was a framed piece from Cross and Patch. It was one of Emmy Bishop's little Hardanger samplers that she had done.
Oh.
And then the other 2 pieces were light blue on white, white on white, things like that.
Yeah. This one needs to be displayed on a table, Krista West style, with a pot of something in the middle.
Yeah. Or a cat.
So, or a cat.
A cat, yeah.
So what did the judge say about this one?
Again, it was all 5s, but, and she's not wrong in this. Proper starts and finishes, no knots or loose ends. My back was not real pretty on this one.
Oh.
Although that didn't prevent them from hanging it wrong side out at the fair again. Don't ask.
So it couldn't have been too bad.
Oh, well, but it was enough to bring it down. Like, I got lazy on some of the stitching that goes out around the triangles. Instead of ending the thread, I just drug it across and stitched the next one. And you can see that on the back. Yeah. She said, nice job, lace flat, good use of bright colors. That was the one thing I liked about this judge. She's not afraid of color.
Yeah.
So I know that there was no bias in that.
Right. I love this variegated thread because it has all these little segments of really light color. I want to say white, but it's probably not a true white.
It is. It's white. It's white. Well, it's as white as that gets.
But it has such a nice effect all the way around. I really like that.
And the only thing that I did on that was I did pay attention. I didn't want too much of the same color in the same area. And sometimes that can happen. So
you just fussy cut a little bit.
Yeah. Well, or flip it and start from the other end, you know.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And Sandy, I'm with you on those triangles. Yeah. So yeah, talk about how you made those triangles protrude like that. You pulling threads from the edge on the other parts?
It's Hardanger. So once you've done your clusters, and if you'll zoom in, I can talk a little better. Okay. You see all the little satin stitches out here? Those are clusters.
Okay.
And then out around it is a blanket stitched edge, just a traditional blanket stitched edge.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm working on linen, I'm working with size 8 pearl cotton. And then my filling in those triangles is done with a size 12 pearl cotton.
Oh, okay.
The overdyed that was used, the Valdani, that's all size 8.
So you just positioned those triangles so they hung out a little bit extra and cut around them.
That's the pattern. That was the pattern. This actually was a pattern that I worked the pattern the way it was meant to be, just not in the colors that they originally had it in. It came out of one of the Berta magazines, which I have a ton of. In the late 1990s, early 2000s, they would publish one a year that was primarily Hardanger. And I must have a dozen of them.
Yeah.
And they have some of the coolest patterns in them. What originally drew me to them, and you can find them on the secondary market. They're still out there. Actually, that's not true. Thistle Needleworks probably has some they never sold, now that I think about it, because I've seen them in their catalog. So they will not have been used. It's the same company that does the patterns for sewing. So their patterns are on that same paper, which I got a kick out of. But they're a wonderful source of information, and they weren't afraid of color, and that's what drew me to them.
Mm-hmm.
So many of the pieces in those magazines are not the traditional white on white.
Yeah. Well, this one is just terrific.
It only took fourth place. Yeah.
I'm gonna argue with the judge on that.
Well, the others when I went to pick it up, I could get close enough. They were good. They were good. So, and like I said, my back on this was a hot mess. So.
Okay. Well, there you go. Yep.
Yep. Now, before we go on, there was one other piece that I had in that class that was part of the sweepstakes, and that was a Swedish weaving dish towel. It was on pink puck toweling, no less. And Cindy, you're going to laugh. Her comment to me, "Good job on the hem." I hand hemmed it. It's just a rolled hem.
Okay. Impressed her.
Yeah.
She beat out two Afghans.
Oh, really?
And a table runner. And a table runner.
Oh, my.
Yeah. And it was an afterthought. Gary, the dish towel was living in my kitchen linen drawer.
Oh, really?
Until 2 days before. And I went, And I went and looked. And it was one of the ones I think I was working on when we did the live Easter show.
Uh-huh.
And gave it ran the iron over it and made sure it wasn't stained, that I hadn't used it.
Yeah, that's important. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And sent it off to the fair.
Yep.
So it also took a blue ribbon. So the 6 pieces that I put into counted thread, 5 of them took blue ribbons.
Wow. Congratulations.
Yeah.
That's terrific. Wow. Okay, this one.
So this is an Erica Michaels petite called Blossom and Bloom. And it's this is on 40 count silk gauze.
Okay.
And when I do my 40 count silk gauze, besides the fact that a lot of times she will put other stitches in her patterns, and this one does have those. The background I did is continental. The Blossom and Bloom, I know I cross-stitched. And some of the others are a mix of both of those techniques. But she had some specialty stitches in here as well. In the top middle, that's a variation on a Rhodes, that yellow. And then the shrub next to it has lazy daisy stitches all over it.
In this one here?
Yes. And I don't know if the close-up I sent you shows it better or not.
This is the close-up.
Okay.
So, no.
All right. Yeah, all right. Yeah, you can see there's a little bit of texture. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, and there's a couple other little variations in there like that there are some other stitches that we use. Like there might be a little tiny Smyrna in the center of the white ones and things like that. So again, all 5s for appearance, workmanship, and finishing. Off the chart, wow. Very intricate, lovely, unbelievable.
Wow. All right.
It was go ahead.
Only silk gauze piece.
Yes.
Think, right?
Yes. Yeah.
It's really nice. And when you know it's on silk gauze, it's even nicer. Yeah.
So it's what? Is it 3 inches square?
I don't even think it's that big.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tiny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess. Oh, here. Yeah. If we know the ribbon. Yeah. There's your ribbon in relation to those, and then
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Yes. The ribbon helps give you, because the ribbon is
2.5
6 or 8 inches, about 8 inches.
Yeah. So
and
it's
two
a
and a
small
half
one.
Yeah.
inches wide.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not, the stitched area is probably about 2.5 inches.
Yep. I was gonna
Looks
say
like
the
it's
ribbon
about as wide as the
looks like
ribbon.
the ribbon would cover it right up if you laid it over the top.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yes.
Oh, that's fun. All right. Now this is the Inspirations. Who is that?
No, this
No?
was a painted canvas.
Oh.
This is a painted canvas from Little House Needleworks. They do a lot of three-dimensional things. I stitched a series of 3 pairs. I've got 3 apples hanging upstairs to go to my finisher, Connie Fink, to turn them into apples.
Uh-huh.
And she'll attach the leaves and use some brown felt to make the stem. So it's basically it's 3 pear shapes and they're joined. You can tell where the canvases connect. Then she just has to form a seam to give them shape, and she puts a little weight in them to fill them so they'll stand up better.
Yeah.
My stitches, my threads.
Nice.
Construction of the pear is nice, and I'll pass that on to Connie. She said it was an amazing job.
Hmm.
And I think that, again, was the only 3-dimensional piece,
Oh, okay.
I think.
No,
In
the
needle.
scissor case. The
Was
scissor
it-
case was,
You're, okay.
I put the scissor case
Was
in
in the
3-dimensional. Yeah,
Okay.
so let's see. You and I,
So there must be
well,
one
you
other
and I
piece
got,
as well.
yeah, we got the only ribbons. I don't think there was anything else that was 3-dimensional.
No.
Okay. Okay.
That's pretty neat right there. It looks good. Yep. Wow. These. Well, these remind me of those ornaments you did a couple years ago, Cindy.
Mhm.
That are the more triangular ones,
Yeah.
except this is a different shape. Yeah.
These are threedles. This is a threedles, one of her Christmas patterns.
Oh, okay.
And I like a lot of hers because they can be self-finished. There are 6 diamonds in each of these. And there's 3 different designs. So what you see here is what the 3 different designs are.
Okay.
So you stitch each one twice, and then because you do a back stitch all the way around the diamonds, when you're ready to put it together, you fold and you whip stitch through that to put it together, and then stuff it. And I made twisted cord out of the pearl cotton
Yeah.
that matched. Mix of threads. There's some fireworks in there. There's some flare. There's some neon rays. There's some Krynic. But the overdyes are all Cosmos Seasons cottons that I picked up at the stitching shop in Denver.
Oh.
And then found like the aqua one is on aquamarine canvas. It has a little bit of a pale aqua in it. The one on the yellow has no yellow in it whatsoever, but it looked so good on that canvas.
Mhm.
It's hot pink, lime green, and purple.
Yeah. When you stitch this, are you stitching all on a flat canvas and then cutting it?
Yeah.
So it's all
putting it in the frame. Putting it in a frame, stitching all 6, and then you go and you trim so many canvas threads out around, turn it under,
okay.
and it's just finger pressed to turn it under.
Mm-hmm.
And then you whip stitch with whatever pearl cotton you used to do your outlines of your diamonds.
Yeah. And just stuck with standard polyfill then?
Yep.
They're really cool. Is this a retail chart you can get from Curdy?
Yeah. Yes. It's still available.
Okay, so you don't have to
Yeah.
take a class
I
then.
don't remember what year, but
No.
it's one of her Christmas. Yeah.
She has,
Okay.
yeah,
It's one of
she
her
has a
Christmas
lot of,
ornaments.
she has a lot of Christmas ornaments.
Oh,
And
okay.
I think there were some other ones that were
Yeah.
odd shaped too.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
very effective.
She
Yeah.
did some. I've stitched some based on the Christmas crackers, so they're cylinders, and had them finished that way.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Yep. These are really nice. Yep. Yeah. Come on.
Now, this was Mixed Techniques, and the piece that took first place had a lot more techniques than mine did. It also took Best of Show in counter thread, and it happens to be one of
Needlepoint.
our guild members in
Oh,
needlepoint. Sorry,
Yeah, needlepoint.
yeah, needlepoint. Because she had silk ribbon, she had beading, she had a couple other techniques on there. She
uh-huh.
put sequins on, so it was this is an old Orna Willis pattern that she did for Rainbow Gallery,
Oh,
and it's called Jessica's Garden. It was originally done in purple, blue, and green, using one of the Rainbow Gallery Encore or
uh-huh.
Overture. I don't remember which one. And I had some of it so I could see what it was. But on that particular day, the Karen watercolors called Summer Fields was talking to me. And Summer Fields has 4 color families in it: yellow, blue, orange, and a little bit of green.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my overdyed, and that set my palette for what I was going to do. It could go into Mixed Techniques because of all the beading that was on it. In fact, the chevrons, the yellow and blue chevrons, that's all beading.
Yeah.
And there are beads in other parts as well. Yeah. So in needlepoint, to qualify as Mixed Techniques, they give you a list of techniques, and you've got to have at least 2 of them in the piece.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's really nice. Definitely has that Orna Willis touch, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
I really like the way you the matting. You really that's a good choice.
Mm-hmm.
All worked. Yep.
And she liked the matting and the frame
Yeah.
on that.
Yep. Nice. All right. Is this the last one? Yep, this is the last one.
Yeah. This is Needle Delights. This is her boo logs. And I didn't like the fact that she had the word boo back stitched in black in the middle. It was not elegant. So I went and found, I knew how big my center was, and I went and found a black cat from Just Another Button Company.
Uh-huh.
And that's what the judge said. She loved the cat.
Oh, so the original design calls for the words
The
in the
word
middle?
boo to be back stitched in the middle. Yes.
No. No. No.
And these are the colors in the design. I think I changed the color in the middle to accommodate the black cat, but other than that, yeah.
It's really cool. What's Sue? What?
The pattern's still available.
Hang on
Kathy
just a second.
Reese.
Is Sue talking about the previous one?
What stitches the woven corner?
Is that what you're after, Sue?
The blue.
No, the
I think
orange.
she's talking about this right here.
Oh, that's petite very velvet, and that's just a satin stitch. It's not really woven. It just looks like it is.
Or this one, Sue. Which one, Sue?
That one is woven,
Now she's on to the
and
cat.
that's a classic. And that's a classic Orna Willis thing to do, is to have you weave.
Yeah.
It was a flat ribbon, and I don't remember if it was Neon Rays Plus or Fireworks.
Uh-huh.
And Rainbow Tweed, I'm pretty sure, was what I used as the blue.
Okay. All right,
As
Sue,
the
you're not
solid.
helping me. This corner or this corner? This one?
Orange or blue?
Or both? The blue one. Okay. All right. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is reminding me. I got to see if I can get Orna to do another show. She's always such a treat to talk to.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah. She's just terrific and so talented. Okay, back
Yes.
to this one.
Yes.
I just wanted to make sure we help Sue out there. Yeah.
Mhm.
Lots of fun Karen overdyes in that one.
Yeah. But it works.
So Kathy has
Oh,
a
yeah.
whole series of these log
Log.
cabin type
Yep.
patterns.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're all fun.
Because she has the 4 seasons, and this one for sure.
Yeah, and there's one for, I think there's a red, white, and blue one for 4th of July. There's probably a holiday Christmas one. Kendra says,
Yeah.
great stuff, Robin.
Thank you.
Yeah, these
Yeah,
are,
so
are
that's some. There's some Krynic in there. You can see a little sparkle every so often, and some solids, but a lot of it is the Karen watercolors.
mm-hmm. But she makes it all work. It's
Mm-hmm.
it's not a jumble.
She's another one that uses color very well
Yeah.
and is not afraid of it. And she's one of the few that I will actually work in her colorway a lot of times.
Uh-huh. No, she does nice work. But no, we're not putting the word in the middle. No.
And this was in picture under 25 inches was the class that this was in. And there were
Okay.
quite a few pieces in that.
Yeah.
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 So it got an honorable mention.
Yep. So you guys hauled home a bunch of ribbons then. That's great.
We did.
Yeah. That's
And
great.
everyone in the chapter who entered did really well.
Right.
That's good. Now, would you
They all
say
had it again.
would you say year upon year that this one was that there was good participation this year, or less than previous years, or more?
I think it's a little better than it has been.
Okay.
Maybe ramping up
Yeah.
again finally after COVID.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
But the entries are down from what they used to be.
Yeah.
They had a lot more classes in cross stitch when I first started doing this because everybody was doing cross stitch then.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. Well,
But
it's good that
we didn't see a lot of entries from people that we normally expect to see entries from. So, life gets in the way,
Yeah.
I suppose.
Yeah. In your
See,
guild, does it get to be kind of everybody egging each other on to make sure we put stuff in? Or
Robin and I nag
we
everybody.
try.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we try.
Okay.
Please put it in, please. The decorative arts, which is more of what Cindy and I do, have been low in entries for a while now. But on the practical things, with the knitting, the crochet, things like that, we've seen more.
Okay. Hmm.
Yeah.
And quilting never seems to be phased by anything.
Correct.
No,
Correct.
but there's still
And
quilting stores in every little town almost.
Right. Yeah. But that's what I
yeah,
mean. Quilting
yeah.
stores in every town are supported because it just never
Yeah.
ever lets up, no matter what. Yeah.
In fact, one of the classes has to do with a shop hop. So they go around to these different shops, they get the fabric, and then they can make a quilt with that and put it in this particular class.
Really.
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
Um, one of the ones that caught my interest, and I believe it took a second place. I don't remember what class in quilting it was in. They had taken all of their ribbons and turned them into what looked like a Dresden plate pattern. So that's the one that you have a center circle and then rays that come off of it. So they'd sewn all the ribbons out around this circle, and that was the quilt. And I went, ooh, I could send mine to my mother and tell her here, because I have
Yeah.
a drawer full.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
Um,
Yep.
and the one thing I noticed as you do, there were more men who entered
Oh, really?
in
Yeah.
yes, in all of the categories.
Wow. Fantastic.
Yep.
Wow. Okay, that's an
Stu,
idea for a
Bev,
show. That's an idea for a show. Can we get names of men? That would be fun.
One of them I remember because I went up against him, but I also talked to him on my way out because he was filling out his paperwork, and I happened to see a couple of his pieces, and I was nosy. His name is Stephen Smith,
Uh-huh.
and he had 4 or 5 pieces, and they weren't all cross stitch. In fact, he took the first place in the heart hanger category
Oh, really?
in
Oh.
counted thread. Yeah,
Oh.
with that
that was
crossed
his
patch
piece.
Hmm.
Yeah, with the yeah.
Hmm.
And then there were several in the junior division that were boys quilts. There was the
Uh-huh.
most adorable penguin, and it was done by a boy,
I'll be darned.
and it was a little wall hanging.
Uh-huh.
not
Well,
really
that's
a
great.
quilt,
Yeah.
but they
Yeah.
Yeah.
squeezed him in.
Yeah. No, that's great.
They found a category for him to put it in.
Yeah. Yeah. That's great. Yeah. Yeah. Encourage them.
Yeah.
Yep. Does anyone have an entry in A&G? Now, I think Beth sent one. Did you guys send one?
No, we didn't, but Beth sent her,
No,
was it the lizards?
iguana.
Right. The lizard
The lizard.
canvas. Yeah.
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 So we'll be sure to get it. I don't know if they'll let us take photos in the show, in the exhibit, but we'll try to get a photo of it.
No,
Sneak one.
yeah. We'll ask.
Yeah. 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 Beth, that lizard, we talked about that several times. Yeah. So she sent
Yes.
that in. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I looked, but I just didn't. I don't know. I didn't see anything. Even though I do painted canvases, it was like, man, I just wasn't seeing anything.
Yeah.
And that's what most of those classes are geared toward, not necessarily the counted stuff.
That was going to be my question. At A&G, do we see mostly painted canvas? Yeah, and we do.
From what
A
I
lot of them
remember
are.
of previous,
Yeah.
yes, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's counted canvas there too, but there is a lot of painted canvas.
The majority is. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Well, frustrates me in that area. I'd like to see more counted canvas, but
Yeah.
I know.
And I looked at what I had too, and one of the reasons I didn't enter is because they don't want glass on the
Oh.
pieces.
Mm.
All my
Yeah.
pieces have glass. So I would have had to take it to the framer, have them take it apart, take the glass out, try to
Right.
keep from breaking the glass until
Yeah.
it comes back. And
Mhm.
then the pieces had to be there earlier than we're going down.
Oh.
So I would have
Right.
had to ship them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And I intentionally didn't put glass on that mixed techniques piece with the fillet lace because I know how hard it is for the framer to keep the hem stitching straight once they get it placed and everything. And by not putting the glass on, I can sit there with my fingernail and go nudge, 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 and get a nice
yeah.
straight line.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah. Well,
but my other pieces had no glare and it worked quite nicely.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Keeps them clean.
Yeah. Well, tonight would be the night to ask Beth for permission because she'll be a little more, little more cooperative.
She's feeling no pain.
Well, she might be asleep by now.
Yeah. Yeah. We've lost her completely.
She hasn't said anything for a while.
Max had to save the glass from spilling wine all over everything. Yeah.
Or the cat finished it.
Yeah, there. Yeah, yeah, yep, yep. All right, folks, I think we're going to end it right here. Robin and Cindy, thanks so much, and congratulations. You guys had a good year at the fair.
Thank you.
It's great.
Yep.
All right, everybody.
Great.
Elizabeth
Bye.
Ashdown on Sunday and regular podcast next Wednesday. Thanks for joining us. Bye.
Bye.